There aren't that many things that can make a whole town come together, but a little baby owl who fell from his nest managed to do that. The woman who found the baby didn't know how to take care of him, and she decided to call someone for help in order to make sure that the poor animal was going to survive falling from its nest. You won't believe how an entire town got together to help out the little owl. It took a village, but we made it happen. It is so satisfying. On a cool spring day in Massachusetts, something went terribly wrong for this baby bird. He'd somehow fallen out of his nest and had no way of getting back on his own. He was utterly lost, that is, until a few kind people stepped in to set things right. Our story starts when a woman from Massachusetts found this baby owl in her backyard. The sad part about this is that the woman didn't know where the owl's nest was, and she had no idea how to find the poor animal's parents. Not having too many options, the woman who found the baby owl decided to call Stephanie Ellis for help. Stephanie Ellis is executive director of Wild Care Cape Cod, a group dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating injured animals. So when she got a call from the homeowner who'd found the fluffy little bird, she dispatched one of the group's volunteers to assist. Calling Stephanie was the right thing to do, and not just because she works at an animal rescue center, but because this wasn't the first time that Stephanie took care of a baby owl. Let's see what Stephanie has to say about the tiny bird. It was a baby great horned owl, only about 10 days old. This owl was way too young to be on the ground, so we had our volunteer bring him in to do an assessment, said Ellis. Sadly, the owl's health was not looking too good. The baby owl was not feeling too well. Stephanie says that he was dehydrated and really needed to eat some healthy food. This is why Stephanie took the poor owl to her friends at Wild Care Cape Cod to put him in a special incubator. Stephanie put the little guy in a special incubator and made sure to feed him all the proteins that he needed in order to get better. The baby owl was feeling better, but this didn't mean that Stephanie's job was done. Stephanie was doing her best to comfort the little guy, but she couldn't replace his mother. There are many reasons why the baby owl needed to be returned to his mama, but the most important one is to make sure he has someone to teach him how to hunt and survive in the woods. Fortunately, Stephanie got an important call from the woman who first found the baby owl. The woman who first found the baby owl was taking a jog around her house, and that's when she spotted an owl nest. She figured out that she needs to call Stephanie and take the baby owl back to his home. But how would they climb that tall tree? On the downside of things, the nest was pretty high, and Stephanie didn't know how to climb the tree. This is where other members of the town came in and called a tree expert company to help out. You won't believe what happened next. One of the volunteers who worked with Stephanie was a full-time employee at a tree expert company. The man decided to call some of his coworkers and help out the baby owl. Here's what they did. Stephanie had the means to get the owl up in the tree, but the poor baby was still at risk of falling over. This is when one of the tree experts came up with a brilliant idea. Keep watching to see what that idea was. The tree experts took a box out of their car and placed the baby owl inside. The box was necessary to make sure that the baby owl doesn't fall over when being raised to the top of the tree. Let's see how everything turned out. As the baby owl was being raised up, Stephanie started worrying that the nest might be empty. There was a high chance that the owl's parents weren't around anymore. You won't believe what they found in the nest. Even though Stephanie and the volunteers didn't think that the baby owl's parents were still around, they were willing to give it a shot. They didn't have anything to lose. Keep watching to see what they found inside the nest. Fortunately, one of the baby owl's siblings was in the nest. To make things even better, the sibling was surrounded by food, which meant their parents were still around. The father owl noticed that someone joined the nest, and he quickly came to see what's going on. This was an amazing thing to see, and everyone was happy to see that the baby owl was finally reunited with his family. The baby owl was reunited with his family, and this meant that Stephanie and her friends finished their mission with success. Isn't it amazing what these people did for the little owl? Stephanie says that they put the baby owl back into the nest at the right time because hunting season is just around the corner and the father owl is going to teach the baby and his sibling how to hunt. After spending a couple of days with Stephanie and her friends, the baby owl was finally home. Stephanie did an amazing thing, and her task would have been impossible if the tree experts didn't help out. This is why helping out people or animals in need is so important.